So today's video is going to be Welcome to Slipmas. It's going to be about the part 2 of the downfall of Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is a continuation from the video that I posted last week, which was the first part of the downfall of the brand. This video is no way me saying don't support the brand. As consumers, we need to make those decisions ourselves on which brands we support and which brands we don't. In that video we talked about sort of the history in a way of the brand, like their products and launches, how their launches kind of changed from being like really spaced out to more launches that came out closer together. Thought I would talk about it because I might have mentioned it about the PR list in my last video, but I don't think I did actually. I think it was more product focused. But I do say in videos I'm a bit iffy about the brand, so I thought I would talk about why. And this is kind of going to be like a full dedicated video on like the PR list on that. So I would watch the other one first before watching this one. Basically, Norvina tweeted out about, if you want to get on the Anastasia Beverly Hills PR list, tweet out your looks. She was searching for people to put on the PR list. A lot of smaller creators wanted to get on the PR list because for them it's like, wow, bigger brands are taking recognition and giving smaller creators traction. Because Norvina is like, it doesn't matter about your size, we're not interested in numbers, we're interested in artistry. The perks for smaller creators was they don't have to wait for the products to arrive after they order them, wait for them to arrive and then do the review. By getting them in PR, it means that they can post their review much earlier. By being able to post their review earlier means their video is more relevant, which encourages more people to go buy it. It can lead to bigger platform growing. Obviously, for some influencers, this gives them bragging rights, obviously. Like, I'm on the ABH PR list, like it's a thing. It's like you've made it in the world of YouTube and that, to have made it onto the PR list. Anastasia Beverly Hills was the first big brand to have people on their PR list which were smaller creators and didn't care about the audience size. Because smaller creators had an audience, but it wasn't necessarily the biggest audience on the planet. Also, there are perks for the brand, because with YouTubers getting PR, they promote them on their YouTube channel. They put them on their Instagram stories and they'll tweet out on Twitter, which gives the brand promotion that's free. Unlike a sponsorship, they don't pay influencers, it's basically free promotion for them. Other influencer perks are having a supply of content for their social media platforms, having new makeup to try out, something to post on their Insta stories, having something to tweet about. Another big perk for the brand is having lots of influencers on their PR list means that they're getting promoted to customers more, because customers see their favourite influencers getting this PR and they think, I want to go buy it, so then they go and buy. Got to a point where it kind of became annoying, just because that was what you were seeing a lot of, was people trying to get on the Beverly Hills PR list, and people were just pushing and pushing, like really trying to get Norvina's attention. For those that got on the PR list, it was such a huge opportunity, and for those trying to get on there, this was probably like an opportunity they'd been waiting for, because like finally a bigger brand's noticed them. Because bigger brands use bigger influencers, smaller brands rely on smaller influencers. It gave them longer to practice their looks, really get to grips with the products before being released, being able to review products, practicing to give a more in-depth review, meaning they can post their review at the same time as bigger influencers, meaning they're becoming more relevant in the beauty space. This really pushed out the hype for the brand. This went on for like a year, tons of names being added to the Anastasia Beverly Hills PR list. A year later there was a problem. Norvina took off a number of people off the PR list. This obviously happens that loads of brands take people off the PR list. For a bunch of reasons, like, I don't know, it can be any reason. But with Anastasia Beverly Hills, this created, for smaller creators, a moment of recognition, like they're being recognised for their work. It's not about numbers, it's just their artistry. And then to get kicked off the PR list after making money from it, obviously, for them, because they're gaining more relevance and they're getting more traction and making more money. And also for the brand, it's like they're getting promoted, getting all this free promotion, and creators were heavily promoting them on their social media platforms. Seems strange to me, like I think this is partly why I feel a bit iffy about them. Seems strange you wanted all these creators on your PR list and then you decide to kick them off. Because you said you don't care about the numbers, but you're kicking off smaller creators, which doesn't make sense, because that kind of says you probably do care about numbers, because most brands care about numbers. It just seems weird. Creators talking about being upset about being taken off the PR list got attacked. People had... This was definitely an issue for people with the brand, and this is probably my biggest issue, and a lot of issues people had were like based on Norvina. It had nothing to do with Anastasia at this point, because before Norvina came along, everything was fine. Everything was smooth sailing. So, if you want to know what happens before this point, then I would watch my other video. Also, people have problems with not being transparent about why she's putting out so many products. Also, people had a problem with the original Norvina palette and how that was quite bad quality. Like, there was a lot of fallout and stuff. Also, all of these products are being released quite close together, so people didn't really understand that. And there was a lack of transparency. Also, you wouldn't put out all these products if you didn't want to be an influencer. You wouldn't have a subsection alter if you weren't interested in becoming an influencer. With what happens, Norvina has contributed to the downfall of a decent brand, because before that they were like problem-free, drama-free. Great products, were a well-respected brand. Never really got roasted. So, this is why it makes me iffy, but if you're fine with it, then that's okay. It's just good to be a smart consumer and comment down below your thoughts. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.